Predicting stock market, it's been called everything from a science to an art, and sometimes just plain luck. But what if we could get more precise by quantifying narratives and data from the news? That's exactly what I've been researching using quantitative text analysis upon global news dataset by incorporating NLP and machine learning models to predict stock prices based on news sentiment and volatility indicators. The idea here is simple. News impacts sentiment, and sentiment moves the markets. But the reality is a lot more complex. Not every headline will rock the market, and some stories will take days to really reflect in the stock market. My research took a deep dive into these connections. Extensive research has already shown that investors react strongly to news, especially the negative news. This is driven by human psychology. We tend to focus more on risks and uncertainties when making financial decisions. For instance, in 2006, Lee showed how words like risk and uncertain in company reports can predict poor performance in the stock. However, one of the key challenges has been dealing with the unstructured nature of news articles, and that's where techniques like named entity recognition and advanced natural language processing comes into the picture. VIX is an index that measures market risk and investor sentiment, and the goal here is whether we can predict VIX movements by analyzing news topics. We start with a dataset of over 100k news articles collected over 2 months. The text needs to be cleaned and pre-processed before we feed that into the model. We focus on the description field of each article since it provides enough context without being overly complex. Now, choosing the best vectorization method is the key, and I tested 3 different techniques using BERT, a powerful NLP model that is designed to capture word context. The results show that count vectorizer struck the best balance at identifying the most topics with less complexity. So going forward with count vectorizer selected, we apply latent direct-led allocation, or simply to put it, LDA for topic modeling. LDA clusters news articles into themes based on word co-occurrences. And after testing various configurations, a model with 20 topics offered the best balance between coherence and complexity. Now, to predict the VIX movements, we align news topics with historical VIX data using date matching. We then feed this data into 2 models, XGBoost for predicting stock prices and logistic regression for predicting price direction. Now, the XGBoost model showed some interesting trends. At first glance, it looked great that the error rates are decreasing, but in reality, the model was overfitting on data. Well, when we cross-validated these predictions, that suspicion was confirmed. Error rates shot back up, suggesting that while XGBoost can offer some insights, relying solely on it for price prediction isn't the most practical approach. Well, on the other hand, logistic regression, a simpler model used to predict binary outcomes like whether a stock price will go up or down, showed a more stable performance. So, what's the takeaway here? Well, integrating news sentiment into stock market predictions holds potential, definitely, especially when we focus on directional moves rather than exact prices. But there is a catch. These models can be fragile. For instance, XGBoost tends to overfit over longer horizons, while logistic regression shows promising results for specific timeframes but becomes less effective as the window extends. What this really suggests is that using news to predict the market isn't just about crunching numbers. It's about understanding how news articles evolve and influence sentiments over time. A headline today might not move the market immediately, but it could set off a delayed reaction into the stock prices days later. And capturing that nuance is the key. Now, moving forward, adding models that can detect causal relationships rather than just correlations like the Granger causality test could refine this approach even further. And integrating more advanced language models like BERT for better sentiment detection might improve the precision and reliability. even though it comes at a higher computational cost. In short, predicting the stock market is still incredibly complex, but combining news sentiment with market data does give us a new lens to analyze the trends. It's a tool, not a crystal ball, and should complement and not replace the traditional analysis. If you're into quantitative finance, data science, or even curious about how AI intersects with the markets, this area of research is only getting more exciting. Before we wrap up, I just want to throw this out there that I'm open to collaborating with like-minded people on expanding and refining these models. If you have any ideas or expertise in the areas like NLP, time series analysis, or even better ways to handle data, specifically news data, I would love to connect and see where we can take this together. So drop a comment, reach out, or connect with me through my socials. And if you want to dive deeper into this research that I've done, you can check out my full research paper linked in the description. Thanks a lot for watching till the end, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.